So today, me, Tanishk,
Sanjana.
and here today, Lakshman is here with us, and he is going to share his journey with us. So Lakshman, before getting ahead, can you tell about yourself a bit?
So, hello all. It was a great sitting with Tanishk at the same time Sanjana for this delight interview with SRM ESL community and SRM entrepreneurial people who are into different communities and all. So, leading my self, this is Lakshman THATIKONDA, currently holding my BBA degree from SRM University. I'm in my final year of my SRM BBA degree. And coming to my profile, I work as a director and CEO for Taikot Boost Private Limited, and director and co-founder and mentors desk at Incubators Lab Private Limited, and proprietor for Gifting World India. These three are my ventures. I've been working with these three ventures from past 6 years in very time lapse of 2 years, in which we every 2 years I used to start my new venture. Within the 6 to 7 years, I have started these three ventures. This is a short about my companies and my profile.
So basically, from what part were you? Where you grew up and all these stuffs?
See, whenever we speak about growing up into, there are two things. First is personality or the personal interest is the first thing, and second thing always would be this entrepreneurial sites. What happening insights, maybe the different opportunities what we are getting. So whenever I speak about this personality development or personally growing up myself, this is all from the study or education what I was being into, because being a part of BBA, we know how different ventures are formed, different kind of systems are arranged in the organizations, and how different things work in organization and all. And coming to my startups, I grew my startups from the opportunities in the market. This is the only way what not only me but every entrepreneur need to understand this situation. Always startups will start from the market. It only the gap we will try to find out. The gap is the opportunity for every entrepreneur, and especially that's what I even did. I find it the gap. I took it as an opportunity, then create a solution for it. The solution is our business. This is the basic model what I used to develop when I just want to start any company. This was a basic develop. Seeing the market, finding the gap, understanding the gap as an opportunity, finding the solution for the problem or the opportunity, then inserting into the market as a business portfolio. This is what generally how this is the process I used to grow my companies or my startup ventures.
Okay, so how did you know that you want to go for a startup instead of going for working in a company?
First thing would be interest. My interest towards the startups and businesses is the first thing, and second thing would be as being a part of a family business person from years. My grandfather used to do the business, and my father used to do the business. Like our circle of chain is not into very much into this job kind of thing. Our circle of chain is more into this business. So as being grown up in this business environment, business ecosystem of parents and all, that was my basic aim to start any company. I really, firstly, when I started, I really don't know what's the meaning of startup, even what is the meaning of entrepreneurship. But later on, I tried to understand how the startups are created, how a business is called a startup, how a new emerging idea can be taken as a new business. See, there is a, to understand this, we have a very clear thing to understand. There is a difference between business and a startup. Business can be run in any model. Like if we take some kind of ex business, like if I just want to provide some lightings or something like an fans or electrical items, I can just copy from other and I can just do it. Maybe I can change its model, I can change its specification and all. But when coming to the startups, when clearly coming to the entrepreneurial startups, they want to clearly sort some market issues. They want to see the market. That's a huge difference between the normal businesses and the startup businesses. And my interest towards this to start them and to understand these gaps and majorly to learn from them is my first criteria to start any company. This is the way I used to start. This is the inspired me to learn. That is the way I feel like the best efficient learning to for my BBA or for my skill development. I feel like starting a company, doing it, working on it, and managing the employees, everything which is part of the BBA chapters or the skill development chapters, what we are having, everything is covered here. So why can't I study very practically? This is my first interest towards starting my companies, and second would be obviously the profits what we are going to enjoy from it, to deserve our dreams, to deserve our personal attitudes and all. Like we really need this money. So my major interest to learn, and obviously as a part of company, the second interest would be to get the market and get some money on it, and to understand the investments and to increase our investments and to globalize. So this is how I very much interested into it, and my agenda was always to globalize the things, not in a local standard. See, if I just start a company, till now all the three ventures what I took are in very good stage in the state level and the national level. They are even recognized by some IT persons. I don't want to start a company, just do as an all others are doing, just to make my market in the local market. I want to touch a good national market with very simple investments. So this is my interest, keen interest. And whenever this is my, even when I speak about incubator center, that's what we do. We again ask the students to do micro investment with a max deliverable. So that is very much interesting into the financial way of how we deal the things. So my keen interest to learn.
So basically, like you initially belonged to a business family only, like who had some ideas about how to run, how to manage human resource. So you had some basic ideas,
Some idea, but the
just basic.
business into there and me is something different. Like my parents and my grandparents are into manufacturing kind of agenda, manufacturing kind of companies, but I'm into the service based. That is the major
Service based,
difference.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
not
yes. That
material
is
based.
the non-material based.
Uh,
Yes.
like you basically mean to say that the difference you stated out now between a business person and and an
An
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. Yes.
For them, yeah, that means you basically want to emphasize on the fact that for an entrepreneur, like if someone is rising up, they will need to have an idea which solves a certain issue which no one else has solved.
Ultimately that's makes the different, and that's the real meaning of entrepreneurship or innovation what he is working on. See,
Hmm.
if someone is doing the same, or what, why, if I do the same, what's it with great? I'm only doing the businesses. There is no thing to cost as a startup. There is no, like, if we really change some inputs in it, or if we really has something very much exclusively for the product, it's different. But doing the same and running about the same bushes and all, it's not a valid point. See, I'll just give you an example to clear it out. See, there are multiple brands which are doing electronical items, what we mean, JBL, Apple, and everything. But see about the boat, we call him as an entrepreneur and we call it as one of the best startup. The reason behind is the cost efficiency model what he is using, and the thing is understanding the market and releasing the new wise orders of the market, and not only them, the seeing about the reconnect, but we can't call the reconnect as a startup, but they are understanding the market and filling the gap. Like, there are some persons who want funky models of airports and the funky models of other personalitical technical what we call airports, maybe speakers and all. But there are other companies like JBL don't want to print some what we call maybe some Spider-Man image or Thor image on it, but boat and reconnect are doing. That's the way they find it out the gap. There are a lot of people. See, when the Reconnect started its collaboration with Marvel series, everyone told them this is going to be one of the waste versions, like no one will buy. But trust me, out of all the Reconnect airports or this speakers sold out, there are 80 to 85% which are from the Marvel series. This is the very keen aspect. See, there is a very small change, but we call it as an innovation change. This is because they are adding their product into very customized level, or maybe into the customer base level, understanding the market and creating some new version of it. That's the reason startups are very much interested, like the very lot of popular people are interested into the startups. That is the major reason. They are understanding the things, they are understanding the market. I don't mean they are creating a new product, but they are creating a new technology, or maybe in a new kind of trend into that product. So that's make a startup into a unique point.
So basically, a startup is successful if it connects with people and the needs of the people frequently.
Ultimately.
Yeah. So, what do you think are the essentials to start any startup?
One thing is patience. The first and foremost thing is patience. See, all the magic or all the miracle does not come in one day, and it can't go in one day. It needs lot of time, it needs lot of effort. At the same time, it needs a lot of patience again with handling maybe the personal pressures and everything. See, any startup venture, when we see in India, a lot of around 50 to 60% of startup ventures are not even crossing its product stage and into the market for more than 1 year. The major reason would be the patience level. They don't want to. Firstly, the point happening when I was also speaking with this newsmakers at SRM University, that's what I told. Always this startup, they want to, when someone like, don't take other person, take me. If when I started, I used to think myself with Tata. I used to think myself with Mahindra or some other company. That's what every entrepreneur do. What happens is Mahindra is in 100 level and I am in 1 level. How one can compare 100? There are 99 steps in between. So to reach this 99 steps, we need lot of patience. There may be lot of things happening in this between. You may have lose complete market, you may lose complete your strategy to make the things. You may sometime you feel to go out, but if you are into every phase of it only, you will reach the 100th phase what you want, maybe like Tata or Mahindra or any company. So the patience is the first factor what every entrepreneur need to learn to start his company, to start his venture. Ultimately, see, finding a VC even needs a patient, because we have hundreds of VC around us, but we only need one VC who is gonna invest more and take less equity. See, this is an again other thing. We may need to go with him for 6 months or 7 months, asking him to, sir, pitch out this, and we will pitch it. He asks to changes. Again, we pitch it. We ask to changes. See, how many people are even crossing this level? Maybe 110 or 15 are crossing. So there is no chance over. That's the reason why a lot of startups are failing. The patience is missing with them. And two things is, the foremost thing is inspired by wrong quote. This is not only told by me. This is told by a lot of senior entrepreneurs, or maybe the persons like Rikesh or Agarwal and everyone. See, startup or innovation and entrepreneurial is not getting from these quotes what we see in Instagram. This maybe it's not an kind of what we learn via skills or something. It's more about the mindset what we have. To see everything in innovation space, to see everything in an entrepreneurial phase, we always need a mindset. So that everyone need to understand. Entrepreneurship as a mindset will change them. So this too, if any person who want to start his company, if he really want to make sure he's completely patient and seeing entrepreneurship or an innovation as a mindset, 100% I am sure any person who want to start the company can start it. Good product. Ultimately, this is something a major thing, but the patience and the entrepreneurial mindset what he is having is not the major, the most majorest thing what entrepreneur need to, or a person who want to start a startup need to have.
That was like that quotation, na, that don't compare someone's 100 level 100 with your level 1. That I read on LinkedIn, and actually that helped me a lot, because I was very keen in comparing someone else's YouTube channel with mine.
So
And
that's what happened. That's what even happened with the entrepreneurs. Regularly, I see now. When I was at this incubators lab, like later, a lot of entrepreneurs come to me and they say, "Sir, we will start with 100 crore budget and we will go for 200 crore budget." See, why 100 crore? If I really ask him, and if I really ask him what you need to start, he will again quote it for 20 crores. See, 20, 100, there are around 80 crores for his luxury. I don't mean of saying don't start your startup by 100 crores, but the capital structure, what we are keeping it on, it need to be very efficient. It should not be like we need to invest 1 rupee and get 10 rupees. It should not be like invest 10 rupees and get 10 rupees. It's not valid. Try to invest 1 rupee, at least make 5 rupees. No need to 10 rupees. That's what it is required. That's what the comparison levels also need to be required. Always, if you want to be a peak, but travel in step by step. See, Oyo did not started its worldwide or like Indian wide did not took all 17,000 or 18,000 Oyos at the one time, and the Oyo township at one time at the same. They are in very different steps. Like they started with 10, 20, 30, 40. Then they have their own what we call Oyo townships. Then they have Oyo flags. Oyo. There are different multiple ranges happening in the Oyo. See, this has not happened in the first step. Like he may be having his expectation to reach the 100th step, but comparing always, sir, tomorrow I want to go for 100 collaborations. It's not possible for a startup to go for 100 collaborations. What you need to be when you are sleeping is tomorrow at least one collaboration. This is what we need to learn. If it is a very grown-up company, he can expect. Right now, Oyo can expect in tomorrow they can expect any 10,000 or 20,000 orders. It's very easy for Oyo because they reached that phase. So understanding the phase where we are is also very much important for a startup.
So basically, you want to emphasize on the fact that keep it in steps rather than seeing the final goal and going all out randomly and expecting too much and just getting disappointment in return.
That's what we even do. See, when we want to go to the 10th floor, we climb the steps. Ultimately.
Great.
We can't expect some threat to come on and we start the higher. It's also going by level. There is no such thing. We as a Spider-Man jump directly to the 100. Exactly. Even Spider-Man need to race from 0 to 100. He also need to cross 0 to 100. Maybe the way how crossing may be different. If he use lift, it may take you very soon. If he use stairs, it may take some more time. But ultimately, any company, trust me, you can check any company. There is no company without crossing the levels. Like every level they need to cross to understand. They may be like few levels may be easy for someone, few levels may be hard for someone. That is very another chapter of thing. But 100% we need to fix our mind in a way we are going to cross all the 100 steps by the end of the day.
Basically patience, consistency, and keeping everything
that you can do it.
Yeah, consistency is the part, and keeping everything stepwise rather than just seeing the final goal.
Maybe the goal reaching kind of approach.
How to reach that goal is more important than the goal itself. Yeah. So basically, what was the reason? Like you have 3 companies, 3 ventures you started. So what were your intentions? Like, how did you realize that there is some vacancy in that field and I should get in?
First thing, when I will just say the different because these 3 did not come to the same picture. So I will just say the company name and also what happened to me start. And Gifting World, this was an general thoughts on the day. Completely to be frank, Gifting World is not only my innovation, it's an innovation happening in total the ecosystem in India. Like very new name has started in 2000, maybe around, it's 2022 now, so maybe in 2016 17 there is a new term which we got into, that is customized gifting. So that is very much very unknown word to every gifters or every gifting show stores at that time. So I was very keen interested into this term. Then I thought of investing on it with some other helpers, because see, at that time I was being at my inter, so I could not plus 1 and plus 2. I could not go to my venture to find it out. So ultimately I need to suck it out some other person who can do it. My approach was to understand, because there are 2 things which made me to start investing in it. One thing is we have whole full of market with us, because there is no competitor at that time. Everyone is in a growing stage, so I can't expect some other huge competitor to arrive in fraction of days. So, and the local market competition is 0. See, when I started in Telangana, we only have 2 customized stores in over the Telangana, in the state. But now we have around 5,000 to 6,000 customized stores in Telangana. Even in every district, we can find 100 to 200. That's what happened. See, at that time, my intention was that I want to invest and learn the business. And second, invest in my strictly to say, I do not feel it as a very much risk to invest. So that's the reason why I invested. And when coming to Taekwondo Boost Private Limited, where we provide education support services and IT services, this happened at COVID time, maybe of 1 or 2 months before the COVID time. I was thinking this plan to make some academical plans for students and some other training and development programs for the students. Was my plan. And then I got this opportunity of COVID. So maybe everyone was feeling very bad with the COVID, but I'm one of the luckiest person for the COVID, where I started my company, where we provide an education support services, which ranging from online classes, online tutoring, online examinations, classrooms, virtual borders. Like, it's more to say, if some school want to adopt us, or like not mean an adoption, if some school want to take our survey, it's completely an virtual school. Everything what happened in school can be happened here. Examination, it can happen. Classworks, it can happen. Even we had created very at the time, we don't even have a Google Classroom when we started. We have a different range of task submission portals. We have again, we have a different range of academical schedulings we have, and very rare range of this what we call timetabling. Virtual timetabling is one of the first thing what happened at that time. So these are few things we are keenly into invested on that day. I took completely this as an opportunity, because there is no company at that time when I started, because when I started only not even 2 months, but 1 month after this, when the government asked us to for the pandemic, I started at that time. So everyone, every school is not have this opportunity to have this classes and all, because like if SRM, we have an ITKM department who helped us to develop and this all, but at that phase we don't have anyone to develop this. So that maybe we completely, there's an opportunity for us to understand the utilization of this online classes and the virtual schooling, and we started with this. And incubators lab coming to, we call it as this registered under LHS incubators lab. So this is completely an open opportunity to start uh, incubating the ventures of different entrepreneurs and training and developing them. So this is an open kind of opportunity. It's seen for everyone. It's not only for me, but everyone. But it needs a lot of connect. So it took us a lot of years, not only me, especially for this incubators lab. There are 27 directors working on all the time. Like there may be different directors from different companies. In over, we have the major directors and 27 board members of complete directors who are working on startups from 2016s and 15s. Earlier to it also, there are few personalities where we completely derive our minds to incubate the startups with VC Connect, Mentors Desk. We have other major services even in 2 year, where we collaborate with the colleges to provide training and development sessions for innovation and entrepreneurship. This is completely a different chapter. So see, this all market gap is from the market. It's not this, we did not created any gap. This is completely seen in the market. That's what every student who really want to start any venture need to understand. There is nothing which we created. Completely it is in the market. But we only did one thing. Me or other directors or other startup ventures who started did only one thing: understanding the gap. That's what only the worst thing is done. So that's the reason. From firstly, I was mentioning understanding the gap. The reason is, this is the entrepreneurial mindset. If a person is really into the entrepreneurial mindset, he finds the gap. That's what he need to build in. He need to analyze the market. There is not something like a research work where we sit on give some numbers to it and do some collection and all. But this is seeing in a different perspective. This is what you need to be built an individual to understand this market.
Yeah. And we all know that there's a lot of risk involved in starting something new. So what are your views on that? Like, should everyone take that risk?
See, everything has its own risk. Like if I'm part of BBA, I even have a risk to pass on or even to fail. It depends on either we are studying or bunking our classes. If I'm going on a bike, if I am a perfect driver, it's not a problem me to drive. If I'm not a perfect driver, then I can expect an accident. But one thing is, if other person who are in the market is also not good at the driving, I may be also injured with him. Everything, everywhere we find it risk. There is no parameter to say there is nothing called as risk. See, right now we are in the virtual platform. What is the, can you calculate the risk of deleting this recording? There is a lot of risk. Maybe he could he could forgot okay download, and he could press on not now. Maybe this is gonna go back up. See, everything has its own risk, but when our mind, when our strategy towards thinking it is completely on it and understanding the things which are required, will help us to get out of that risk. When I'm driving my bike, if I'm ready to check it out all my surroundings and I'm perfect on my bike, then my risk decrease. If I do not know the bike, and if I just kickstart it and go, there is a huge risk. And if I know my bike and if I know all the rules and regulations, I may have less risk. But unfortunately, everything has its own risk. But maybe it may vary. Like if I have 10%, 20%, 30%, it may vary. But any entrepreneur has its own risk. Everyone. See, some more very much huge example. See, Paytm did not expected that much of very less output from this stock and all. But see, out of this IPO, they got into minuses, and their financial lead also in very much in the debts and all. This is another risk. They are very much people who can calculate for the Paytm, but they are again into the risk factor. Maybe they may be thinking this is a 10% chance, but it took us 100%. Things happen, but Paytm learned from it and try to re-enhance it. If I fall down, ultimately I will also seek to know, if I go in this speed in this road, fuck, I will fall down. So next time, what I will do, if I'm going on 50, then I will only go by 40. There may be even chance if I go in 40 also, then maybe I fall down. Then next time I will try to go by 30. Then I need to again realize one thing: the route what I am going is the wrong. I need to go into the other route. That's what again need to understand. See, this is the mindset of entrepreneur. Only reducing the speed does not give a mindset of entrepreneur. Changing the route gives a mindset of entrepreneur. That's what everyone is required to do. When startups are coming and one person want to start this company, only decreasing or increasing on it does not only gives it value, but again he need to see the multiple approaches to reach his peaks. Just we will take a small example. If I want to go to the 10th floor in a building which has stairs, which has some uplifter or something, and I have a lift. See, three things has a risk. Lift, it maybe got powered off and all, and uplifter may have the crane got some screw or nut into some problem and it could not lift me up. And stairs, if I go, there may be some sudden earthquake may be coming in between. Everything has its own risk, but calculating the risk, understanding the risk, and going into the perfect way would be good. That's what the mindset need to be.
Actually, we also came across many startups who generally fail because they make some mistake and usually don't learn from it. They just like a small kid, they try to make a target, go behind it, and they do not have any strategy to like they don't learn from their mistakes. They want that students
And
should
they
connect with
easily give
us.
up.
No, either they don't give up and get stuck on that same path. They
Same
don't
path.
try multiple approaches.
See, that's what I know. That's the reason I told. If I'm even spelling down in 30, it's mean I'm in the wrong track.
Ah.
That's what we need to understand.
Because that wrong path thing, most of the people don't understand. They think that we planned everything correctly. We knew that there was a demand. then why isn't it not succeeding? I guess my timing is wrong, but it's not that. You need to advertise it, see the timings, see the risk factors associated with it, and then collectively take a decision. What should we do? So
that's what even needed.
And now we will, we had some question, Sanjana is going to ask you that.
Yeah, so in future, if we have any startup related query or we need to start any startup, so can we connect with you?
Ultimately, I'm 100% open for you, and our incubators lab is 1000% open for all the entrepreneurs who really want to connect with us, who really want to start their entrepreneurial journey. Not only to start their entrepreneurial journey, but to understand what the real concept of innovation and entrepreneurship. Maybe let me also add something to innovation. I think this would be the good platform to understand. See, innovation is not an business. All innovations are not an business. That's what we need to understand. If every innovation is going to be in business, it's going to be something. It's not even. This is everything. This will not be a part of our life. Even innovation, even not only required for the business personalities at the same time. See, innovation is something like a technology. Everywhere we can use it. We can use it in our classroom to listen this class. See, this is a part of innovation. Before we used to connect everyone in our offline mode, but right now this is an innovation. What happened? Even to record, we have some micro phones and all. This is a part of innovation. And if we want to eat something, we will get some crazy ideas. This is a part of innovation. See, everything what we do what we do, which is abnormal or which is different, is a part of innovation. But what I suggest to the entrepreneurs is, don't feel all innovations what you are bringing up into the startups is known as innovation. Or entrepreneurial innovation is different, normal innovation is different. Try to understand this. There is a very huge bridge gap within them. Maybe the innovation word utilizing in both of them may be similar, but to be frank, there is very much different. The innovation what we do in general life is to enhance or increase the work speed. Only few innovations what we even do in the general life we may take us to the business profile or a business level. So this is was one of the major criteria what I want to deliver to the people from different like when people even meet me also, I say the same, with different ideas and all. And 100% with my bottom from my heart, I welcome everyone who really want to start their companies with our incubators lab, who want fundings for it, who want VC connect for it. And if you are stuck up or your startup stuck up at some point, if you need some industrial mentors, we do it. And 100% sure on this platform, I'm saying you, we are not going to charge you anything until and unless your problem is solved. Your venture is full-fledged. Your venture is going to be incubated. Until and unless our work is done, we don't even charge you a single rupee.
Yeah, that's totally true. And one small question:
Yeah.
where do you see your ventures in next 2 years or 3-4 years? Like any plans?
One thing would be like my ventures, I want to globalize, as was I firstly saying, not even globalize but nationalize is my first priority. I was trying to get my few more outlets of my gifting stores at other cities, at the same time expanding my company wings into the separate domains and all. That is my one of the thing. And incubators lab, finally, not only me, other directors also into the vision to make it to the one of the finest and best private incubation center all over the India. We are like, hope we are in the same chain right now with our VCs connect and all. Future, we are expecting a good number of students to be incubated. Right now, we only incubate for every 6 months. We only incubate 56 to 57 startups. This is our average rate. but in future we are expecting to at least to incubate around 200 to 300 startups for every 6 months.
These days, most of the people have ideas, but the problem they face is in executing their ideas and telling about their ideas. So, do you think educating in that sector is important?
Ultimately I feel this, not only educating them, at the same time, not only, like, I don't mean by educating in virtual mode or something, but see, 100%, as you were also mentioning about the educating them, 110%, it was very much required, because see, everyone will have their own idea to start, but they may be struggling up. It's very common. See, if as a part of BBA, I want to do my BBA, but I stuck up where I want to choose, and what courses or what specialization I want to choose. And then I have a guide to help out me at that situation. Someone told me to do this at SRM University, and when I stuck up a specialization, one of my faculty suggested me, you are good at this course, so you go with this out of your interest and all. Educating at every impulse is very much required, but the thing is not educating in the same way how our courses are designed. Entrepreneurship can't be explained within the boundaries of classroom, but how to start the company, how to do this all things, can't at all, you trust me, this can't be taught in the same way how our courses are taught in everyday life. This needs a lot of industrial exposure, this needs a lot of incubation ideas and all. This is complete propaganda where the things are taught in very very much next level, where they try to estimate or establish the realistic ideas. It's not like you can get some theory at 1890s and say them what is startup or what is Donald's theory of startup. Something like, it's not really, there is no such theory, but you can't say some research which happened in 2 or 5 years ago will help the students now. There is no. See, the market is changing very rapidly. You don't trust me, even today market and tomorrow market is not going to be the same. Tomorrow IT may be hitting the hip, and education may be going down, but tomorrow, day after tomorrow, education may be hitting the hip, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, the market is completely changing its structure. Market is completely changing its preference, maybe on based of time, on the based of the demand for it and everything. So this is something very, we can even name it as a realistic education. See, what we are learning is and theory which are proposed in 1890s and 1870s, and few are more very older than those theories, when maybe at the time of FW Tyler, 1960s or 1670s. See, there is no chance. If you really want to teach the 16 principles of management, what some other person who told at 1970 will not, an entrepreneur will not help the entrepreneur to really see the market. The criteria of the basic criteria of principles may be matching, but the scenarios will not at all match. Every day, the structure and the trends of market is changing. So entrepreneurship need to be a realistic course. The education need to be very realistic to understand the market in very much grips. We can't do it as the all subjects are doing it. 1916 theory we can't get it, or 2000 theory we can't get it, or we can't get some research papers for it. We can only get the real-time entrepreneurs into the phase and help them out. We can only really get the mentors who can help into the industry, industrial mentors who can help them. This is very much required, even not only for them, but not only this course, but any other course what we take. If we really teach them into this way, those courses will be into the next level. That's what the top IIMs are doing, top B schools are doing, top other schools are doing.
Most of them invite the current entrepreneurs in the market who are on
Maybe SRM also doing it in a very extensive level. Out of this, it's best and all. It's doing very much great. Like we are even having some directly. If we take into the course of BBA, we directly have some industrial person who is teaching us. See, this is what even required. We have even some faculty who had worked around 30 to 40 years in the industry. Maybe SRM also having its very much cut renovation or innovation step. What they took is they get industrial people to teach the classes. That is really inspiring. What top B schools even do, that's the same. See, when we are into such hands, ultimately, trust me, our future is going to be very much impressive. It does not look like a CV of the paper, but it look like a person's profile. When you completely go into the corporate, there is two different terms. CV is different, person's profile is different. CV is called as a piece of paper, person's profile is called as a professionality of person. This is a very huge word. When corporates use some word, forward your profile, only if you have some industrial experience and if you really do something great, they call you as a profile. Because you are some ridiculous person or you are recommended person or recognized person. If they ask you to share your CV, we don't know you about you, you just start sharing now. This is what happened. So we all need to be in a phase where we need to start sharing our profiles, not sharing our resumes. There is a very different, huge word in the corporate. See, I don't mean to understand the corporate language, but I mean of saying to reach the professionality in whatever you are doing. If you are part of BBA, you do something very unique towards your researchers with HR or something. You attend some conferences, you attend to some business program, you start some venture. See, I'm 100% sure today's starting is venture is very much easy when you are into a learning concept. Because see, you are not going to the finance, you are not going to manage it, you are not going to do some other things. Your complete mindset is on learning. So ultimately you will do the best for it. For every BBA student, not only BBA, any student who want to start its company, see it from a learning perspective. So 110%, I am sure you will be in a creek level. But if you really only want this profit out of it, so this is another challenge again, because there need to be finance modelings and you need to understand the profit and losses, what happening in the business. It may take some time, but if you are into the learning, again, what the mistake you do, you accept it. When you are out of the learning and you are like, I know everything. You want to start into a startup, just go and download these two forms from MCA, request for the startup registration, then apply for the DSCs, you get a certificate, then go to the startup in India, then apply for the startup India, then you will get the certificate. This is not the way. This is an official format of getting your certified as a startup, but this is not the way. The learning concept, what we want to embed into it, the technical concept to understand the market is the real startup. See, getting a startup India certificate is not the major thing. Getting an MCA certificate of incorporation is not the major thing. We may be having 100 of certificate to showcase, but if we really don't have one talent pool to showcase, it's the bad thing. So always we need to build two things. Ultimately, certificate of incorporation, startup India certificate is required, but the talent pool, what we are going to have, the talent pool of ourselves and our organization is very much required when you really want to start a company. Only the person who are really want to learn this innovation, learn from the startups, who want to learn from the mistakes, will be able to get this talent pool from for himself or for herself or for her or his organization. But until and unless if they really don't want to learn and they only want to do the things what they know and feeling this, in Telugu we have some they call Telisindi Goranta Teluskovalsindi Kondanta. See, we will only know something very much little, but we feel it as a mountain. That's what the mistake. If you even have a mountain and if you feel it is in a pinch of sand or something, it does not makes you a problem, na? It will showcase your formalityness into it, your professionality into it, and every person who sees you or who know about you will only take it as an good way, like you are a learning person or a good way person who are ready to learn, but he will not take it to the bad way. So why we always need to think I know all the mountain, I know what is what, I know completely what is startup and all. Really, to be frank, a lot of people don't know what is even startup. Who are starting the company also, I don't know. I don't mean no, do not knowing the mistake is wrong, because firstly when I started, I really don't know what is startup, but I am in a phase I just want to learn. So I accepted my learning. So I think if I could not accept my learning, and if I behave like everything what I was happening is in my cup of tea, it's my cup of tea, I would not be in this phase. I always feel I only deserve 10 to 15% of my cup of tea out of all the corporate connect and all. Everything need to be teamed. When we start, it may be one or two, but when we grow up, we need a team, it need a finance, it need a HR person doing it, everything. So when huge personalities add on, we need to very much understand how learning can be happen. See, under the Ritesh Agarwal or the Ola wala, I think Ola is Ritesh Agarwal, and I really don't know the name of Oyo. See, there are some persons who are even experienced more than their age. Maybe Ritesh Agarwal age would be 25 to 30, and there are few persons in their company working who has a work experience of 30 to 40.
Ritesh Agarwal is Oyo, and
Okay,
Bhavish Agarwal is Ola.
okay. So maybe this Agarwal's what the
Yeah, they
having.
confuse a lot.
They can see, that's what matter. They those anyone who are right now into the good pitches, maybe boat and other things, they accept learning, and they thought of see, the first learning step is learning the market. If a person really learn it, then other learning is very quite simple. That's what
That was like, actually, you have to keep a student mindset whenever you do something new, rather than acting like a pro. Even if you are not, or even if you are, you should.
if we are even a pro also acting like a student does not
Student.
give any wrong, right?
There is no harm in that.
Yes.
Chalo, that was a great, like that was a great experience connecting with you, Lakshman, today. So, I
It was
guess,
quite an informative session, and we
and
got to know a lot about what do we need to keep in mind before getting into a startup. So thank you.
Thank you very much for this delight meeting, and hope you guys also do your best into your interest, and all the best for your futures.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks again.
thank you, Lakshman.
Thank
Catch you
you.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.